We all love a good vacation now and then, whether it's a trip out of town or a plane to the other side of the world. Getting away from home for a while is always refreshing. Most of us dream about sipping tropical drinks as we lay on a beach in the Bahamas, while some of us dream about owning that beach and the whole damn island. It's not enough to travel to an island for vacation. Apparently, the real fun is owning it. So let's check out just how expensive these private islands can get. Number 10. Cerralvo Island, Mexico. $35 million. 60 miles off the coast of Mexico, east of the city of La Paz, is a massive, uninhabited island. It's 18 miles long and has remained without an owner for some inexplicable reason. This place is perfect. Except maybe for the $35 million price tag. I mean, free is my favorite price tag after all. But even that 35 mil is pretty justifiable. The island is decently sized. It's not too far off from the mainland. It's got a nice consistent climate with warm temperatures, perfect for the summers. And when the rain starts to come, you just hop in your yacht and go to your other private island on the other side of the world where it isn't raining. The landscape is a winner too. It's mountainous and rich with vegetation, really giving you that back-to-basic feel as you sip mojitos in front of your luxury cabin. And if you want to explore the sea, which of course you would, who buys an island because they want to stay dry all the time? The rich sea life and calm waters really make the experience extremely enjoyable. Just remember, the ocean floor does drop off dramatically off the coast of the island, so no sleepwalking, mister, or you'll literally be sleeping with the fishes. Number 9. Charles Island, Bahamas. $39 million. Next, we hop over to an idyllic little island near the settlement of Spanish Wells in Eleuthera, Bahamas. Charles Island is a lovely little 55-acre island that is just begging to be turned into a commune. The island already has electric and water lines in place, and these utilities are built to last too. The island being so close to the settlement of Spanish Wells is a real benefit for communal living. It has access to building supplies, contractors, dry docks, and well-stocked grocery stores. Couple that with the fact that this island is a genuinely gorgeous place to live, thanks to its wonderful views, diverse fishing and diving locations, and beautiful beaches around the island. I swear, if someone isn't gonna start a commune in this place, I'm gonna do it. Number 8. Hans Lolek Islands, $45 million. Next up, we have an honest-to-goodness twofer. A 2-for-1 sale for U.S. Virgin Islands, the Great Hans Lolek and the Little Hans Lolek Islands. For the low price of $45 million, you'd be crazy not to take this deal. If a 2-for-1 deal isn't enticing enough, you should know that the Hans Lolek Islands are some of the few prime private islands you can get within United States property. And now that I think about it, I'm not sure if that'll make you want it more or less. Located just north of the significantly more populated St. Thomas Island, the larger of the two islands, Great Hans Lolek, is pretty much the picture-perfect private island paradise. You get 500 acres of breathtaking unspoiled beaches, stunning vistas, palm forests, and most importantly, crystal clear waters. The Runt Island, Little Hans Lolek, might be a much smaller 100-acre island, but it's still just as breathtaking. With a magnificent cotton candy white sand beach, absolute privacy, and breathtaking views of its big brother Great Hans, this island combo might just be the best private islands to come out of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Number 7. Musha Cay, $50 million. Next, we have possibly the most private of private islands. This 600-acre island is part of the islands of Copperfield, a chain of private islands owned by the famous illusionist David Copperfield. You know, the guy that made the Statue of Liberty disappear in 2006, fresh off his run as the best illusionist to grace our TV screens. I'm sorry, David Blaine fans, but facts are facts. Copperfield bought 4 different islands in the Bahamas, and even though he uses Musha Cay as a private resort, it's still surrounded by 3 other islands he owns. making it one of the most secluded private islands out there. Copperfield paid a total of $50 million for this level of privacy, and a further $40 million to renovate Musha Cay. And, lucky for you, you can get a taste of it too, for about $57,000 a night. With a 4-day minimum, of course. David's gotta make that money back somehow. Copperfield bought a total of 11 islands, completing an archipelago known as the Islands of Copperfield, creating a paradise for himself and the incredibly wealthy clientele looking for a taste of this paradise. And I'm not kidding when I say wealthy events on this island can run you a fortune. Fireworks displays and treasure hunt events can cost up to $25,000. Copperfield might not be making any monuments disappear these days, but something's gonna vanish when he's done with your bank account. Number 6. Cay Chapel, Belize, $65 million. Next, we have a rather large private island bursting with culture and nestled between Guatemala and Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Cay Chapel is bound by 6 miles of pristine white sand beaches, located in the heart of Belize's largest marine sanctuary and perched on the edge of the World Heritage Belize Barrier Reef. It's almost a crime against nature to step foot on its pristine ground, but man must explore. Formerly owned by an OG self-made millionaire, Isaiah Emmanuel Mortar, feel free to pause and Google him. Cay Chapel has maintained a forward-leaning philosophy of sustainability and environmental responsibility, choosing to grant guests access to the limitless wonders of the natural world, and not just tearing it down. Barefoot adventures await you on the island, as well as open water excursions to the Great Blue. But it's not all running around in the sand and sunbathing. This still is a luxury island after all. You get to enjoy plenty of amazing amenities and services, courtesy of the Four Seasons. The island features a community of luxury Four Seasons private estates, resorts, and you get to enjoy an 18-hole White Shark golf course. I'll be waiting for that sponsor check in the mail, Four Seasons. Number 5. Pumpkin Key, $95 million. Located in the sunny state of Florida, this extraordinary private island might be the smallest one on this list, covering about 26 acres, but boy does it pack quite a price tag. Initially costing $110 million before it's dropped to $95 million. Pumpkin Key is just about 10 minutes away from Miami's South Beach, by helicopter or boat, of course. This might not be the most secluded private island, but I wouldn't recommend swimming to it. Also means getting access to the 3-bedroom main home featured on the island. It comes with 2 caretakers' cottages, a dockmaster's apartment, and a 20-slip marina to accommodate the yacht every rich person in Florida has. You also get access to an entire, fully equipped resort with its own share of amenities. At the center of the island are tennis courts that also double as a helipad, and golf cart paths circle the island. You know, for every Floridian's favorite pastime, golf cart racing. If you can't tell, I obviously know a lot about Florida. On top of the panoramic views you get on this island, you also get access to phenomenal fishing, world-renowned snorkeling, and scuba diving. Not to mention that just a few meters off the island, you get access to an oceanfront inn with a full-service spa and salon, and an array of dining and shopping options. But who are we kidding? You're not going to be leaving this island for any reason. Number 4. Isle de Ronde, $100 million. Next, we have one of the largest and coolest islands the Caribbean has to offer, the island of Ronde in Grenada. Sat 5 miles off Grenada, 27 miles off Tobago, and 68 miles off St. Vincent, is a nice little 2,000-acre island, isolated and untouched, with picturesque landscapes, bays, and valleys. It's the kind of place you'd want to buy for no other reason than freshening up your Instagram feed. One nice little touch that'll certainly loosen someone's purse strings is the cave system featured on the island, perfect for swimming through. Speaking of which, thanks to the secluded nature of the island, it's free from runoff and fishing, so you get to chill with this island's stunning marine life. And I mean get real up close and personal with the marine life. The waters around this island are so pristine, you can get superb visibility swimming all the way down to 100 feet. You can fist bump the turtles and get properly freaked out by the eels. Isle de Ronde is also pretty close to the mainland. So if you're one of those incredibly wealthy people who can buy a $100 million private island but doesn't have a yacht for some reason, you can charter a plane, a speedboat, Or just go for a brisk 6-mile swim. Number 3. Scorpios Island, $153 million. Next, we head over to the Mediterranean, to a famous Greek island, once owned by Aristotle. No, not that Aristotle. The shipping billionaire Aristotle Socrates Onassis. In 2013, it was bought by Ekaterina Rybolovlev, heiress to Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev, for roughly $153 million, which is a tiny bit more than the $14,000 Aristotle paid for it back in 1963. Might just mess around and buy my own private island, wait half a century, and I'll be rolling in money. When Aristotle bought the island for such an astonishingly small amount, it was already a 74-acre island off the west coast of Greece in the Ionian Sea. But that wasn't enough for him. He wanted to turn this place into a proper playground for the rich and powerful. He imported 200 different types of trees, imported sand from the island of Salmina. He also built a helipad, a small marina, and harbor facilities to accommodate his beloved yacht. And it worked. Several wealthy people flocked to his island. Ekaterina Rybolovlev intends to carry on the spirit of Scorpios, except now she's kicking it up a few notches. She plans to turn the place into a luxury, exclusive resort for high net worth individuals. The plan to turn Scorpios into the mega resort of your fantasies will cost about $165 million. But don't you fret. She plans to make all that money back and then some. Renting out the island is set to cost residents about $1 million a week. The project is slated for completion in 2024. Who do you think is going to visit this place first? Number 2. Rangyai Island, $160 million. Next is our runner-up for the most expensive private island. And for that, we head on over to Thailand. East of the island of Phuket, we have the largest island currently available for sale in the region. Located close to 2 islands, Phuket and Coconut Island, both brimming with resorts, tourists, and developers, Rangyai is in a pretty advantageous area. It might not be the most secluded island, but who really needs an island smack dab in the middle of the Pacific? Not unless you're planning any movie-style fight-to-the-death tournaments, that is. Rangyai Island might not give you that nice wilderness feeling, seeing as how it comes equipped with fresh water, electric generators, and mobile signal. And it's only about 10 minutes away from the nearest town. What you do get, though, are 110 acres of luscious, white sand beaches and beautiful tropical forests. You can either drive around the forest, sunbathe on the beach, or jet ski on the water. Rangyai Island is your own massive private resort. Number 1. Lanai Island, $300 million. What sort of island could possibly find its way to the top of such a crazy list? Well, what other island than the one owned by the 5th richest person in the entire world, Larry Ellison. The tech billionaire and co-founder of Oracle bought the most expensive private island for about $300 million, despite its former owner, billionaire David Murdoch, reportedly asking for $1 billion for the island. Which, if you think really hard about it, Ellison totally got the place for a steal. Although technically, Ellison owns about 98% of the island, with the rest of it being owned by Hawaii. Who knows? Maybe if he coughed up the extra $700 million, he could own all 90,000 acres of the island. Lanai really takes out the private in Private Island, though. There's a small town on the island known as Lanai City, and it has a population of roughly 30,000 people. Suffice to say, it's not the most secluded island on this list. However, that's not much of a problem for Ellison. Like the truly eccentric billionaire he is, Ellison shockingly didn't purchase this island to be his own personal 5-star getaway. He planned to use it as an experimental staging ground for environmentally friendly practices, like massive greenhouses powered by solar panels. These days, Ellison uses the island for his own personal game of Monopoly. He owns pretty much everything on the island: the hotels, the water company, the supermarket, the cemetery, and about a third of all the housing. As soon as his bid to buy the electric grid goes through, he can shout Monopoly and collect everyone else's assets. Or however you win that game. So which one do you think is more fun? Vacationing on a private island or owning it? If you love this video, then trust me, you'll definitely love the one on the screen. Go ahead and check it out. You won't be disappointed.